What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody coming in. Let the room warm up a little bit. What's going on? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So we can go through this little roll call. We got Crush the Legend in here. Salute. Case of Voice. Salute. DP Rocker. Salute. Mark Nash. Salute. Condo. Salute. Appreciate everybody coming in here. We got a couple of things I want to talk about. I'm gonna drop the link a little bit later. If anybody want to hop on, you can hop on and give your take on what I'm talking about. Um, so there's now been word that there's a possibility, or they pretty much working on Tank's next fight. They're talking about it should be Rollie Ramirez. Um, so that should be his next fight. And we knew Tank was scheduled to fight Rollie um, for December 5th of last year. Um, we all know that Rollie ended up pulling out due to court issues that he had going on, and he was asked or he was forced to pull out, whichever one you want to call it. And Tank ended up fighting Isaac Pitbull Cruz, in which he had a unanimous decision. He hurt his hand in that fight, which caused him to be on in recovery at this time. But the next fight they talking about he's supposed to be having when he comes back from his injury is supposed to be Rollie. Now we know Rollie had the court issues for the sexual assault on the female or whatever. He was acquitted of those charges due to lack of evidence or whatever. So I mean, I'm not going to go too much more into it. I mean, they didn't find any reason to go further with the case, so they dropped all the charges on him. Whether it happened or it didn't, we don't know. We could just go by what was the outcome of the whole situation. So, being though that he was acquitted of those charges, me personally, I feel like it's only right for him to get the fight with Tank Davis. Now, even though we didn't want to see that fight when it was first announced, we felt like Tank should have been in there with a top level opponent due to Tank's boxing ability and most of his fights as of recently has been on pay-per-view. So I mean, we feel like if he's going to be paying for see Tank fight, he should be fighting top quality opponents. And he has, like I said, he has great boxing ability. Um, it's not like Tank is somebody that's new to the boxing scene. He's been fighting for a while now. Tank is 23 years old. I mean, I'm sorry, Tank is 27 years old, about to be 28. So we feel that he should be in there with the top opponents. The, I mean, he got a couple of names on his resume. None of them that's really really stand out like that. I mean, you could say Leo Santa Cruz, but Leo Santa Cruz was moving up in weight to fight Tank Davis. You could say Gamboa, but Gamboa was at towards the end of his career. Um, so I mean, he has those names. I mean, you got people like Pedraga, who's now a 140 pounder. You got people like that on his resume, but we haven't had anybody like Aloma Cinco, um, Devin Haney, T.O. There's been talk of Gary Russell Jr. So he hasn't had none of those top quality fighters on his resume. Now, like I said, I do believe that Rollie is deserving his shot because it wasn't he was forced out due to the court issues. But at the same token, I don't believe he should have been forced out of the fight because they just came out a couple of weeks ago and said they didn't have any evidence to go further with the case. And if you remember, when Floyd Mayweather had his court issued before he had to serve 60 days in jail, he had a fight. He had a fight, and then he had to drop his belt and serve 60 days in jail. And then he came back and he fought again. But he had a fight right before he went to jail. He had to serve his 60 days. You have Tank Davis who has open court issues that none of his court cases have been resolved yet, and he's still allowed to fight. So I don't feel like Rolly Ramirez should have had to pull out of this fight. Now, like I said, I don't know if it was volunteering he pulled out or if he was forced to pull out. But either way, I feel that he shouldn't have had to be pulled out of the fight because um, he could have still fought. Um, they didn't go to court. He was never arrested. He was never uh, really he wasn't fully charged with with the allegations. They just they said the girl um, said he had did whatever he did, and he's being charged, but he was never arrested. So he could have still fought the fight on December 5th. Like I said, they just came out a couple of weeks ago and said that the case was dismissed. They wasn't going to go further. I mean, the charges was dropped, not the case was dismissed, but the charges was dropped. He never made it to a courtroom, and so like I said, he should have still been in that, be able to have that fight. Um, Now, I mean, it's not official yet. They still talking about it. They saying that it's most likely that's going to be the next fight, according to his trainer and a couple of other people. They said most likely that's going to be next fight. We all know that Floyd Mayweather came out and said Tank Davis will be fighting in-house fighters. Um, but to be honest with you, I mean, what in-house fighters do they have at 135 that Tank could be fighting? You know what I'm saying? It's not none of the top fighters. We want to see Tank in there with top fighters. Hold on for 1 second. We want to see Tank in there with top fighters. So it he Floyd pretty much is holding Tank back in his career. What's going on, Ricky? Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, so Floyd is holding Tank back in his career because he should be in there with the likes of Devin Haney, T.O., and Lomachenko. And I mean, if you want to say Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia don't even deserve a fight with Tank right now. I mean, even though he has a name because of his Facebook and his Instagram or whatever, but Ryan Garcia, to me, he doesn't deserve a fight with Tank Davis. he pretty much got to work his way up to fight any one of the top fighters, because you look at the list that they put out for top lightweight, top 135 pounders. Um, he hasn't fought nobody in the top 10. All the people that's in the top 10 that he was supposed to fight, he ducked. He hasn't fought nobody in the top 10. So he doesn't deserve to uh, deserve a fight with Tank Davis. But they have him ranked number, I believe they have him ranked number 5 or number 6, something. I think it's number 5. But I mean, like I said, Tank needs to be fighting the fighters that's in the top 10. He don't need to be fighting people that's in-house, that's not even on the rankings scales or whatever. But like I said, we all know that's Floyd doing. That's not Tank calling his shots. Whenever his contract is up, I mean, if Tank want to make these big fights, I think it would be in his best interest to leave Floyd. Um, I mean, Tank is big enough to do like Devin Haney, have his own promotional company, and call his own fights. He got a bigger name. He's been on pay-per-view since I think he didn't had like 4 or 5 fights on pay-per-view. He's headlined, I think, like 3 or 4 of them. So he has a big enough name and a big enough fan base where he can have his own promotional company and call his own fights. But we don't know how much longer he has with Floyd Mayweather. But let me drop this link. If anybody want to come in and cook on that, they can. I'll allow y'all to come in. I haven't had people in here in a while come on the live stream with me. So if y'all want to come in, y'all can. I have no problem with that. It's all love here. We all talk boxing. We all know boxing. So I don't have no problem with anybody coming in. But now we're hearing like I said, we're hearing that Bob is trying to push for this Lomachenko and Kambosos fight. He's saying Lomachenko is has a bigger name in Australia over Devin Haney. I mean, whether he has a bigger name than Devin Haney or not, they are not at full capacity. Australia is slowly but surely shutting down. Not to mention, Kambosos' name is not even big in Australia. So, you got to remember when Manny Pacquiao fought Jeff Horn, they fought in Australia, and Jeff Horn only got $500,000 for that fight. What's going on, Crush the Legend? Jeff Horn only got $500,000 for that fight. So, he's not a bigger name than Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was fighting Manny Pacquiao, and he couldn't get a big paycheck from Bob Arum. And you think that Kambosos is going to get a big paycheck from Bob Arum? Not to mention, like I said, Kambosos and Tio went behind Bob Arum's back and decided to take the fight to a purse bid. So Bob Arum still remembers all of that or whatever. So he hasn't forgot about it. So like I said, I mean, that whole Kambosos thing, I mean, if you want to stay face and you want the fans, you want a bigger fan base, your best option is to fight Devin Haney. You're going to get a bigger purse and you're going to get a bigger fan base because you stood true to your word that you was going to fight Devin Haney next. So that would be the only right thing to do. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, Bob Arum is trying to do whatever he got to do to get his fighters in those championship status or whatever. He's gonna do that, especially for the fighters that he rocks with. Those fighters like Lomachenko and Tyson Fury and Oscar Valdez and those type of fighters. Those are the fighters that he's gonna make sure that he keeps pushing them. Those are the fighters that he push. It's only the fighters that have the more skilled fighters, the bigger name fighters that the fans want to see. He's not pushing them like that. Like Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson should have been had the Oscar Valdez fight. Shakur Stevenson should be working on his way to being undisputed right now. He has that type of talent where he can be pushed. You push Bud Crawford to be undisputed. Me personally, I feel Shakur Stevenson is more skilled than Bud Crawford. That's how I feel. I'm looking at skill for skill. I'm looking at these skill wise. I feel that Shakur Stevenson is more skilled than Bud Crawford. So you should be pushing him to be undisputed. The same way you push Bud to be undisputed. You should be pushing Shakur Stevenson to be undisputed. But and news that came out today, Keith Thurman back in the news again, and he's saying that he's trying to push the narrative that his fight is a WBC eliminator. It's not a final eliminator, but it's a WBC eliminator. And I looked at that two different ways. I looked at it as Keith Thurman pretty much is just trying to get his name out there. He's trying to stay relevant to the whole welterweight division because he's been off for 3 years. So he's trying to stay relevant. But two is I see that I look at it as PBC is trying to have a fallback fight because, to be honest with you, like Ricky always say, shout out to Ricky Williams, like he always say, they put it right in your face. You just got to be able to see it when they put it in your face. You got to call them on it. Him saying that this fight is a eliminator fight is not a final eliminator. That means they looking at the Terrence Crawford issue and they feeling like Terrence Crawford might not take this Errol Spence fight. And so they need to have something to fall back on. And mark my words, if Terrence Crawford don't take this Errol Spence fight, Keith Thurman will be the mandatory for the WBC belt. Mark my words. They already saying this is an eliminator fight. It's not a final eliminator. This is an eliminator fight. Keith Thurman will be the next fighter that Errol Spence fight if he fight again at 147, if it's not Terrence Crawford. I'm just putting it out there. I already see the play being moved and being put out there. They like I said, they pushing this narrative that this is a WBC eliminator fight. It's not a final eliminator, but my whole thing is, why hasn't Boots got an eliminator fight? Why Boots hasn't got an eliminator fight? Boots is right there. He's number 2. He should be having an eliminator fight. My man G5 Gay, what's going on with you, my boy?
What's happening, my boy?
Ain't not much, man.
Man, been ripping and running all damn day, man. Lord.
Yeah, I'm just cooking on this Keith Thurman issue or whatever. He talking about his fight supposed to be an eliminator fight. It's not a final eliminator, but it's a WBC eliminator.
Right. So basically, if it's eliminated, then he is basically like a fucking mandatory.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Gonna work. So he basically fighting for the number 1 spot in so many words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so if Errol Spence don't get this Terrence Crawford fight, I already know they already put it in the works that it's going to be Keith Thurman is going to be next.
Yeah, or the winner, or either Barrio, whoever wins, that's who's gonna be next.
Yeah, Barrio or Keith Thurman.
Yeah. All right, they talking about Earl don't got nowhere to go. Earl got plenty of options. I guarantee he can call Danny Garcia and he'll come to 147 and fight again.
Right. But my whole thing is I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Boots. Why they not pushing Boots like that? Hey, what's going on, Crush the Legend? What's going on with you?
Who not pushing Boots? Or the sanctioning bodies?
Yeah, the sanctioning body. Why they not pushing Boots like that?
Because they don't wanna potentially have him upset the apple cart for one of the fights that they know they're gonna make some money off of.
But they could
You
do
know
it.
what I'm saying?
They could do it the same way they're doing the Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios.
I,
If Earl Spence don't fight them, then Boots could be the one that's next. It shouldn't be Keith Thurman or Barrios. It should be
that,
Boots.
that, man, that's my only hiccup with it. I much rather have Boots in that position, man, because he's already done worked and you know what I'm saying, worked his way up the ranking system to be able to have that shot. Shit, if they wanted to do it like this, they should have made Thurman versus Barrios. I mean, Thurman versus Boots.
Right, right.
Have them fight for the eliminator, and then whoever you know what I'm saying, they go like that.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, that Boots should be somewhere in that mix. If he's
Oh
not,
yeah,
if he's not fighting Keith Thurman or Barrios for that mandatory spot for the WBC eliminator spot, they doing that man dirty. They doing that man dirty because Barrios just now moving up to the weight division.
not
Keith,
already getting a
Keith,
chance.
right. Keith Thurman ain't fought in 3 years. This man then worked his way all the way up to be ranked number 2 in the WBC sanctioning body. That man should be getting
Right.
his fight next. What's
It
going on,
really should.
Crusher?
Crush.
What's,
What's up,
what's
my
going
brother?
on? What's up? What's up? What's going on? Hey, Gabe, I got to get out of Texas, man. I'm planning to come out there the end of next month. I'm even going to come to Dallas and Houston, but I'm going to keep you informed when I get out there. I got a couple folks
Oh
to
yeah.
come out there and see. But what's up,
Oh
D,
yeah.
man? You know, this whole thing, I was saying this last night about Keith Thurman, man. One thing I'm going to give this guy credit for, he's a sales pitch. He's a sales
Mm-hmm.
pitch. He knows how to market himself. You see what I'm saying? And that's where everybody got to understand in this game. You have to promote yourself. It's just not only the promoter. But he's been
Mm.
saying for years, if y'all think that Undisputed is going down without Mr. Keith One Time Thurman, y'all tripping. And for some damn ungodly reason, it is happening, Jack. And I'm like, here we go. Here come Keith people again. He can't get rid of this dude. He's like a roach that you step on. He keep getting up, man. So
Mm.
he's doing something, man. He's
Mm-hmm.
so pitch the sanctional body. They like his attitude because I mean, Keith is not a bad person when it comes to the people. You know, he may talk a little more than he works, but other than that, he's a very likable guy. You know, besides the few fighters that have diabolical intentions on smashing his head. But he has worked himself back into position, man. And I'm like, well, is it part of the the stalling shit? Because when we talk about these subjects, we gotta look at everything, and I'm looking at everything from the top when it comes to boxing right now because it's so cruel. It's so cruel and full of shit, and it's so political. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at everything from the top, then looking down, getting closer to the fighters because we know certain things and you got certain politics riding on your side, you make things happen. And we can safely say this about Keith Thurman. No matter if we agree to see the guy or not, most people be like, oh well, I'd rather see Keith more so than Barrios because Barrios is not as known as Keith. We get all that. But my thing is Keith worthy of it? Now, performance wise, in his last two fights, no, he's not. Because he lost to Pacquiao. He didn't really look too good against Josito Lopez. But because what he has done and him being a champion in two weight classes at 147, I guess that still holds in stick. You know what I'm saying? So that's playing a part of it. So I'm just at the point, no matter what's going on, let's just get this done. We really want to see it. So if it takes place, we're gonna see what happens. But I'm not gonna rule out the fact that it could be a possible spoiler for Keith Thurman. I'm not counting Barrios out, people, and I'm not saying that he got a great chance of winning, but do not count this dude out. And for one thing, all this he's moving up from 140 to 147. I think the guy's that's really moving up into his natural weight. That's all I got to say on it.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
he looks to be an oversized 140 guy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I think 147 is going to be more comfortable for him. Will it help in his performance? We don't know. You know, Keith is talking like he's going to come out here and really does showtime on Barrios, try to get him out there quick. He needs to do it if he's talking about this eliminator. So I guess they saying, all right, Keith, we giving it to you again. You got to really go out and do it. But is he going to really be able to pull it off? Because he's going to need a transformation like no other.
Right.
Because we've seen this guy training, in pre-camp, and all that time off. Everybody not going to keep on being able to come out off of these long layoffs and then come in the ring and do their thing like they never left. Everybody can't do that. Everybody don't have those special gifts. So I'm saying only a very few. And even with my guy Errol Spence, now I don't think his injury is going to stop him. I don't really think his layoffs is going to stop him because he keeps himself busy. He's always in shape. If you ain't in fighting shape for his conditioning, you can be in fighting shape for as your weight. Because some guys know how to not gain a whole bunch of weight in between a fight. So it depends on how you conditioning yourself. And as you get older, you taking all this time off and you up there knocking your white head off, making little napalm babies and all that. You get very comfortable. So for me to be sold on Keith that's going to come in and do this, I don't see the hunger in Keith Thurman like that anymore because now he got some money in his pocket. He just really doing it to offset everybody else because he's kind of jealous that his name ain't rocking the bells like that. So he want to take a chance of getting his bells rocked. So, let's see what happens, man.
Well, I mean, but you also got to remember, Spence had just got finished fighting Danny Garcia, and he was signed to fight Manny Pacquiao, and he was training and he was ready to fight Manny Pacquiao. It was 10 days before the fight where they got he had to pull out due to the tear in his eye. Now, he was still in the gym. I mean, once he let the eye heal and he was able to get the patch off and let the sunlight hit his eye, he got right back in the gym and he was right back working again. But far as Keith Thurman, I mean, like I said, the last when I saw him in that video when he was hitting the heavy bag, he looked like he don't look like he has it no more. He looked like it's over for him. So I mean, maybe that was because that was his first time back in the gym or whatever. I don't know, but from the looks of that video, he don't look like the old Keith Thurman that we used to seeing. Even the Keith Thurman that fought Manny Pacquiao, he doesn't look like that Keith Thurman. So
he don't.
He got a. I mean, if he can get that Keith Thurman back and beat Mario Barrio, then I mean, I still think that they should be fighting Boots to make that actual mandatory. Now, but we do have a confirmation of the fight for Ugas and Spence. It will be April 16th in Dallas. So they came out with that and they gave us an actual date. So now everybody knows where it's going to be at and what date it's going to be. So now everybody can make that arrangements.
Man, I'm there. I live here.
Yeah.
I gotta go right down the street yet again.
Yeah,
I'm good on that.
I gotta get out there to one of those fights, man, too. But I got some folks I need to come out there and see.
Yeah, I'm about to hit one of y'all up and see where I need to be headed to, because I'm trying to get out there. It's gonna be you, Quee, BF, one of y'all. I'm gonna hit one of y'all. Hey, where I need to set up at.
Shit. We always go to the fights together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How do you do it?
My shawty, she gonna ride. She gonna be in the car with me. So shit, wherever I'm rolling, shit, she going. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
I'm trying to trying to get a spot right close near the stadium.
Hey, D Free here. Say this. I don't think I got your number, bro. I've been meaning to get that shit.
Yeah. You get
There we go, right here.
Okay.
Yeah, Crush already got it.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's my guy right there. Y'all know, man. This guy been rocking out. That's my dude.
Yeah. So my thing is, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman didn't look as smooth as I wanted to see him hitting that heavy bag, but you had on that weight vest too. Like if you know you ain't all the way back in shape, don't start trying to hit a heavy bag and have a weight vest on if you ain't in rhythm, because you look like some shit.
yeah.
I mean,
Exactly, because it's too
I'm like,
soon for the weight
bro,
cut.
you got rust. Like, don't film us with your weight vest on hitting the heavy bag. Nah, man, do it regular. If you ain't in shape, and your body and your muscle memory ain't intact right now like that, you gotta let that elastic acid get rolling, man. You ain't did none of that shit, girl. You got some shit you gotta work on. I mean, he looked it still. I mean, I know you had that vest on, but you should have took that shit off.
Right.
Up.
Like I said, he didn't look like himself at all.
And that's why I say, I want to see you without your weight vest on.
Around
Yeah,
30.
I want to see what he looked like in the ring. If he could look like the old Keith Thurman, then he probably gonna be good. He probably do good. But I don't know.
If he looked like the Keith Thurman that was at least in there with Pacquiao, like he was saying, bro, you know what I'm saying? Then hey, baby, get him up out of there. The only thing he needs to do is make sure he increases his endurance and make sure he in the best possible shape that he can be. That way, you know what I'm saying, he can start off a lot crisper. Because he started off so slow against Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be ready to go from the first bell. You never know what type of style of fight the fighter gonna present. So you gotta be prepared and you gotta be conditioned for 15 rounds, not 12. That's something that I'd be training my fighters for. Hey, what if you get in a dog fight and you got to go all 12? You're gonna need every round to get this fight over with. Nah, bro, you got to be conditioned past 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? If I was a trainer, I'd be training them like they doing 15 round fights. That's just me. Because it's better to be, you know what I'm saying, have more, more in your bag than less than your bag. Shit.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out to my guy Mark Nash. Yeah, according to Tank's trainer, he said it looks like it's going to be Rollie is going to be the next fight. They're working on that. Yeah, I saw the last interview that Keith Thurman had. Yeah, his jaw and his eye look a little swollen from his sparring match or whatever. Yeah, I mean, even though Keith Thurman was hitting a heavy bag, and we don't know how long he was working out, it didn't look like he had no form. His form looked like a fighter that was just learning how to fight again. So I mean, that was my whole issue. It didn't look like he had no form to him. I mean, if you're a fighter and you've been in the game as long as he's been in the game, you should still, even though you're tired, you should still have some form to your punches. He didn't have any form. No, it's not a they said it's a title eliminator, not a final eliminator. They said it will be a title eliminator, but it's not going to be a final eliminator. But I believe that's just the WBC doing what the WBC do. They always got their little politics. I think they're going to make Keith Thurman the mandatory if that Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford fight doesn't get made. I think they got something. I mean, they always put it out there, and then we don't see it until after everything has been done. But it was already put out there. We just didn't catch on it. And so I believe, like I said, what they need to do, even though they say this fight is an eliminator, it's not the final eliminator. If they are going to have a final eliminator, it need to be with Boots, because Boots is right there. Boots is right there. He's trying to get that fight. So why not have Boots and Thurman or Boots and Barrio fight for the final eliminator? So I mean, like I said, I don't know what's going on. It's looking a little funny with me, but it is kind of it's looking a little funny. But I just need I need them to make a little more clarity out of this, because, like I said, they shouldn't be fighting. I mean, I don't think they should be fighting a eliminator anyway. I mean, because, like I said, Keith Thurman been out of it for 3 years. You might as well say 3 years. He's been out for like 3 years. So they need to get him working back in there. Now, if he can get in there and he make easy work out of Barrios, by all means, you could put him. His next fight could be for an eliminator, but I don't think it should be an eliminator right now. We don't know what kind of Keith Thurman we're gonna get.
Hell no. Nah. I just look at it like, you know what I'm saying, they trying to put him back in position. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman, I mean, he talks, I mean, marketability is shit. You know what I'm saying? If you can sell yourself and you can do it in a way where you're not degrading or bashing fighters and shit like that, they gonna rock with that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you being honest, but you being a professional too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you overconfident, or you like this super cocky ass dude or whatever like that. So hell, they gonna rock with it. Then he only lost one time. You know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna hang their hat on. He lost one time to Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really think that he should be in for a title eliminator if that's what it is. I think it's just like, all right, you beat Barrios, we're gonna rank you in the WBC. You'll be in the top 5. You know what I'm saying? And after that, if they do a final eliminator, maybe they'll say, okay, y'all may have to fight Boots since he already ranked in the top 3. You know, maybe they fighting for the number 4 spot or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, hey, whoever went out of this fight, you know what I'm saying, fight Boots. And then he already said, you know what I'm saying, I'll fight Boots. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they want to make that happen after I take care of business, then I won't believe until I see it. You know what I'm saying? But if you fight Boots, hey, I'm gonna watch it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Then, like, say if Thurman does fight Boots and Boots win, that'll give Boots a credible name on his resume as well. Because they always want to keep saying that he green and shit. He hasn't fought anybody. So if they sell Keith Thurman and push him to be this you know what I'm saying, this name for one of them fighters, then shit, he'll have a fighter that Earl, neither Bud has fought already and beat. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we got to, you know, you can't just look at this certain shit surface level. With anything, you never just look at the surface level. It's always more than just that. You know what I'm saying? People are not going to tell you every time what the hell they really trying to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to read in between the lines, context clues and shit like that. You know, so that's how I look at it. You know, I'll wait to see, you know what I'm saying, how it play out, but I ain't gonna hold my breath on the shit.
Right. I say you absolutely right. I mean, and you got to remember when they first bought Boots to Keith Thurman, Boots was like, "Who's that?" I don't even know who he was. He tried to act like he didn't know who Boots was. Man, everybody knew who Boots was. Keith Thurman didn't want that smoke at that time, and he or either that, or he felt like he was too much of a bigger name than Boots to be mentioned with him. I don't know what it was. Me personally, I think he just didn't want the smoke. But Boots is definitely somebody that needs to be in there. He need to be in the mix. Like I said, whether it's for eliminator or whether he gets the shot with Terrence Crawford or Earl Spence next, if they don't make that fight. Me personally, I think Virgil Ortiz and Boots need to get those fights next if those fights are not made between Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, because those guys are respectively ranked number 1 and number 2 in every sanctioning body. So those guys, they work their way all the way up to get where they at, whether we say they fought top level opponents or not. A lot of those fighters that they fought was fighters that Bud had fought. It was some fighters that EJ had fought. Whether we consider them top level fighters or not, they still work their way all the way up to get where they at. So I believe if EJ and Terrence Crawford for whatever reason doesn't make that fight, they need to be fighting those two guys next, or they need to go ahead and move out of the division because those two guys are next in line. Because once EJ and Bud is done with that division, those are the guys that's going to be right there waiting to fight. So they might as well get their chance now if they're not going to make the mega fight that everybody's been wanting to see. If that fight is not going to happen, they might as well go ahead and make these fight for these new guys that's moving up.
Yes, sir. Hey, nah, Mark, it ain't me. I'm in the car. I think crushed it at one of his spots or something. Nah, my background good, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Nah, I'm cool. My background clear. I know how to mute my mic, bro. Trust me. I've been on live quite some time. You see my shit there. When there's somebody talking, I'm on mute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just that. But I'm with you, man. I'm like, I don't like, I agree with Mark. I don't like these damn hula hoops they send these young fighters who are threats to make them, like, it's like you making them go through extra hurdles and shit when they already done grinded. They get in the top 3 and most of every sanctioned body now. Like, man, let that man get his spin. If anything, let Barrios and Thurman fight. Okay, shit, cool. Final eliminator, Keith Thurman, you won? Okay, you fighting Boots. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get directed straight to it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like, get to it. Don't keep doing all this extra fluff and shit. Man, nobody got time for all that. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow ain't promised, and these fighters got to get that mindset in they head, bruh. People getting checked up out of here with COVID, without COVID, random your shit just pop up. You know what I'm saying? It could be hereditary through bloodline. Man, you better take advantage of your youth while you can, and get all these tough fights out while you're younger. You know what I'm saying? Because as you get older, shit, it's gonna be harder to beat these young ass fighters. Everybody's not Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or you could be 36 and you know what I'm saying, watch Canelo and shit like that. Everybody don't have that gift or that mindset or just that drive and work ethic to do that. And the guy giving. So I mean, like, waiting till they 30. Oh yeah, now I want to fight that. You still in your prime, but bruh, if you already got 28, 30 fights by the time you're 27, what the hell you waiting on? And the promoters and the outfits as well, what you waiting on? They're like, he not ready for this fight. You won't know if he's ready for it until you put the man in there.
Right. You
know, so that's just.
Crush, you got anything on it?
Nah, bro. I just want these guys to figure this thing out and have the best fight the best. I'm in overkill, burnt out with it, bro.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see. I don't have too many demands, man. Just want to see the best fight the best. Hopefully Shakur gets it going with Valdez, whatever that situation is. But we'll see what Keith does. As far as Keith get past Barrios, we'll see if any line to fight Spence. And then if he become a mandatory, see Spence handle that. But then my whole question is this. Is this, if Keith Thurman being a title eliminator, right? Is that kind of stalling, finally getting to the bottom of the barrel undisputed at 147? Because a lot of things, so many things be going on and rumors come out in the rumor mill and things like that. Some of these things I find as distractions, because even with the Bud case, it's a distraction because case is not coming up yet. We don't know when the court date is, and then we still haven't even got past the Errol Spence and Ugas fight yet. So we keep jumping hurdles and things like that, and not standing on course. We talk about things that we don't even know when it's going to get settled. And then at the same time, Terrence Crawford don't have a goddamn opponent. But here we go. We thought we was getting him and Keith Thurman. Whoops. Now Thurman then bounced back into getting another shot. I guess when you liked over at the PBC like that, things can happen like that. That's why, you know, sometimes you can't shit on in-house fighting, because that's how shit gets done easily with in-house fighting, no matter if you like it or not.
Right,
But
right.
we know that, you know, so a lot of people just gotta get out their feelings when it come to that. But if it is to slow down and have Thurman a part of this thing, and then it's gonna be between Thurman, Arrow, and Bud, or whoever the case may be, so be it. But I think it should have been better if it was Boots Sinners. You know, we got Boots at 147. We got Virgil Ortiz. So it was other guys. With Thurman having the reputation that he has, Barrios is like a blemish, no matter if he wins or not, because you was keep one time Thurman. People
Right.
still feel as though you can fight, but are you conditioned like you used to be able to continue to fight? That's the big question. And see, this is the question that I raise. Sometimes people go for this cherry picking, and one day the ripest one, the one that look like it's the sweetest one, when you bite into it, you get that sour taste. Cause everybody want a soft touch, so ain't nobody really trying to figure out who's the man. Only a couple guys, and that's a couple guys who's actually out there chasing everything out the water. You don't have too many Devin Haney's in the sport right now that wants all the smoke. He's running in towards the gunshots and everything. He's running to burning buildings. He jumping in the flame of the barrel of flames and all that. You don't have too many fighters doing that. So we don't really know what people really intentions are, and I'm starting to think it's just out for a bag more so than anything else, and they don't really care about the legacy and don't even understand that money comes with legacy. They've been in the sport long enough, they haven't paid attention. That's what the Four Kings was about. They all got paid, they sold themselves. You see what I'm saying? They knew how to market themselves. But we gotta see what happens, man. But Keith wants to be a part of it. And he said he ain't laying down. He ain't gonna hang up the little cow slick in his hair, and he ain't gonna pick the guitar back up until he a part of what's going on. And here we have
Right.
it.
Let me get
You
to
but
this chat
it's
real
taking
quick.
away the opportunities from Boots and things like that, because we can't have these guys keep on saying, oh, he's high risk, low reward. You was in the same situation. So it has to start somewhere. And the guys who used to be in that same position, it's funny how when they get there and then they act like they ain't had to go through the same thing. And they
Right.
understand, you know, the tediness of this shit when you're trying to get guys to fight you and everybody saying, oh, he ain't ready, he ain't did too much and this, that, and other, but then you go around and touch some lighter shit. That's making me feel as though that you ain't got confidence in beating Boots, and some of these dudes don't. And
Right.
everybody saying, well, he ain't ready yet. We don't know shit. Let him get in the ring. And then the opponent would prove to us if somebody is ready or not. How can we say somebody ready or not? We ain't rumbling none of these motherfuckers. They
Right.
professionals. Okay, if my fault, if Boots have a deficiency problem with his defense, or if he feels though he can't take the power punches like that, then that should be proven. But the just ruling him out, oh, he ain't ready. It's the experience. We've seen a lot of experienced fighters lose to guys who was naturally better than them, or it just wasn't a fucking night. You see what I'm saying? No matter how you look at it. But that goes on in the sport of boxing. This won't be the first time it happens. So they need to stop making all these excuses, my man, and go and get these guys they title shot.
Right. Let me get to this chat real quick. Jimbo, he said another roadblock from Team Spence. First get a belt, then easy road Porter, then across the street when Bud is a free agent. PBC say they're not interested in Bud and EJ fight and a BS Mando. First off, it's not a roadblock from Team Spence because the Keith Thurman fight is not a mandatory fight. It's not a final eliminator fight. It's saying it's a eliminator fight. And I said me, not PBC, not WBC. I said it looks like if the Spence and Earl Crawford fight doesn't happen, it will be the winner of Keith Thurman and Barrios as a final eliminator to be the mandatory for the WBC. As far as the easy road to Porter, that was an easy road because he was on his side of the street and he had already said he was cleaning up everybody on his side of the street. Y'all keep going back to this stuff that he had already said, and he had already said before Bud Crawford came to the division. Just like Bomac said, they took the Jeff Horn fight because it was an easy fight for them to make. But I mean, Errol Spence is taking the fights on his side because it's an easier fight to make. It has nothing to do with him being scared of Bud Crawford. And I like I said, EJ had already said it, and Ugas had already said it. Once this fight is over, they're coming for Bud Crawford next. So it's going to be up to Bud Crawford to make that fight when they come to him, because they already said that is going to be the fight next. Whether Ugas win, whether EJ win, they both said it. Terrence Crawford is the next fight because they got 3 belts. They need that last belt for undisputed. So you keep saying roadblock. They saying only if this fight is not. I said only if this fight is not made between Ugas and Bud or Spence and Bud. I said that fight will probably be the next fight that probably will be made. It has nothing to do with PBC. It has nothing to do with the WBC. This is what I feel is going to happen. So you taking that narrative and running with it, and it hasn't even been put out there by them. This is what I feel is going to happen, not what PBC said is going to happen. Shout out to G.O. James. What's going on with you, man? What's going on, Mike Biggs Bach?
That's good. Yeah, it's more so speculation. It's just trying to rank Keith Thurman back in the sanction about it. Now, if anybody pulls some strings on it, it's going to be the WBC. Why? Because the WBC favors their kind. What is Barrios? Y'all overlooking the main shit.
Right. And
like it's always Spence or Bud, Team Crawford doing this, or Team Spence doing this. Bruh. It's not always them. They do have other people that they have in their corner in their pocket as well. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, and you can point out facts, but once you point out facts about some shit that actually happened, people always think you down and shitting on somebody or something. I'm not saying that it was Jimbo doing, but I'm just saying in general, whether it's you talking about Bud, whether you talking about Spence, whether you talking about Boots, and you point out something that actually holds some weight, people have an issue with it or think you shitting on a fighter or saying he's not this or not that. Like, man, y'all surface level thinkers, bro. Surface level. That's all it is. Oh, well, he said this or they said this, bro. Go get into read the fine print, look deep into what's going on. Like some of y'all make no fucking sense, man.
Right. Shout out to Votes UK. What's going on with you, man? He said I thought Tank wanted Lomachenko next. No, Tank do want Lomachenko next, but y'all gotta remember, Tank doesn't make his fights. He doesn't make his fights, and Floyd had already said Tank will be fighting in-house. So he do want Lomachenko next. He want Lomachenko. He want Devin Haney. He want Gary Russell. He want T.O. He want Ryan Garcia. He want all of those fights. He's already said it. He want all of those fights, but he doesn't make the shots. He doesn't call those shots. It's all up to what Floyd and Leonard Ellaby do. They make all his fights for him. He doesn't make those fights. So he do want that fight next. But I mean, if Floyd and Leonard Ellaby is not making that fight, there's nothing he can do about it.
Yep.
He said, Jimbo said, how can that be the next fight if PBC Tim Smith said they not interested in the Bud and EJ fight? They didn't say they wasn't interested in the Bud and EJ fight. They said well, first of all, Tim Smith already told you he's not in those talks. So Tim Smith can't say they're not interested in those fights. He already said they're not in those. He's not in those talks. What he said was, and he contradicted what he had just said. What he said was that Bud Crawford is asking for too much money. But then he contradicted himself and said he don't know how much Bud Crawford is actually asking because he's not in those talks. That's letting you know he don't really know exactly what he's talking about, or he told you too much information that he wasn't supposed to tell. So whichever one you want to look at it, however you want to look at it, he came back and recanted what he originally said. He said Bud was asking for too much, and then he said, "Well, but I don't know what Bud is asking for because I'm not in those talks." So either he don't know what he's talking about and he's speculating, or he told too much information and he tried to backtrack on what he said. So however you want to look at it, it is what it is. But they never said they wasn't interested in the EJ Bud Crawford fight. And regardless if they're interested in it or not, EJ is the one that's interested in it because EJ wants to be undisputed. So EJ has the say of, hey, I'm pressuring for this fight. Now, if PBC doesn't make that fight and we see EJ is pressing for the fight, you can't put it on EJ. You can put it on PBC, but you can't put it on EJ. Because like I said, I can guarantee you when this fight is over between Ugas and EJ, I guarantee you whoever wins that fight, they will be calling Terrence Crawford out next in that ring. I guarantee you that.
Hey, it's similar to Bud in his situation. Okay, Bud has said some contradictory things. Cool. But at the end of the day, Bud can be asking and be wanting to fight with EJ, but Bob wasn't going to get it done for him. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's who's going to get the contracts made and get the check cut. If he don't say yeah, then the shit ain't happening. Bud could be wanting like hell, but as long as he's with Bob, the shit is not going to happen. Whoever cut that check that paid the fighter, that's who going to have the final fucking say-so. Because they gonna be the one who drawing up the contract and going to the other network with it and present it so they can get a deal done that favors both sides. That's how contract negotiations work. You once you go hit up the other party, if they don't like something in it, they gonna hit you back until y'all come to a median ground to where it suits both parties.
Right.
Like I went to school for business. Come on, man. Like this shit is not that hard. That's why I try not to do my best. I haven't really been talking about Bud and Spence even on my page like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't worrying about that fight right now. Shit, there's other shit that's on the plate, on the table right now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say EJ gonna win and beat Ugas, and that's a foregone conclusion. Man, it's boxing. Shit, upsets happen all the time. Do I favor EJ? Hell yeah. But shit, I'm not mad if he lose. If Bud and EJ fight, if Bud wins, I'm not tripping because I like Bud too. They got this whole narrative. Oh, you can't like Spence and you can't like Bud. Nigga, who you ain't my motherfucking daddy? Can't tell me who I can't like.
Right.
Bro, I go to fights. Just like the last Spence fight, I was there. The one that's happening on April, I will be there too.
I like Tank Davis. I like Tank Davis and I like Gary Russell. Of course, you know I like Gary Russell, my family, but I like Tank Davis as well. I can like both fighters. Now, who I root for, that's who I root for. But I still can like both fighters. It is what it is. You can have multiple fighters in the same division or in different divisions that you like. It doesn't matter who you like. It's who at the time of the fight, you can either say I'm not rooting for nobody because I like both of these fighters, or you can say I root for this fighter because I feel that I feel that his skills is going to prevail in the fight, or you can say I root for this fighter. I like this fighter just a little bit more, but you can still like both fighters. Shout out to Writing Yoga. She said, Dwayne, who do you think Bud would fight next? To be honest with you, I really don't know. Because you can't really tell who Bud is going to fight next because right now, for one, Bud is a free agent. He doesn't have a promotional company that he's working with. He doesn't have a network that he's working with. So whoever Bud fight next, he will have to work on that promotional company. So he will have to sign a 1-fight deal or a 2-fight deal if they want to put a rematch clause in it or whatever. He has to sign with that promotional company for a 1-fight deal. And so with that being said, with Bomac coming out like we're never going to do business with Al Heyman, we don't need Al Heyman. Majority of the fights that you want is with Al Heyman. Whether you want to fight with Earl Spence or you want to move up to 154 and fight the champion at 154, they're with Al Heyman. So with Bomac coming out there and putting that bad energy out there, even though it's not coming from Bud per se, whether it's coming from Bud or not, we don't know that. It's coming out of Bomac's mouth. It's not coming out of Bud's mouth. But You're his manager. You're his trainer. That's what we was talking about yesterday on Knockout Boxing live stream yesterday. Shout out to Knockout Boxing. You're his manager. You supposed to be at putting his best interest before your own value, before your own thoughts. His best interest is what you need to be looking out for. So you putting that bad energy out there, telling me you don't need Al Heyman, fuck Al Heyman and all this. Al Heyman is the guy that you need to work with because you don't have your own promotional company. You don't have a network to fight on unless you're going to get with Eddie Hearns, who already said he don't want Bud Crawford, or you're going to get with Oscar De La Hoya. You can't get with Top Rank because you're suing Top Rank. So there's only 3 other promotional companies you can work with to get a fight: Oscar De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn, or Al Heyman. And Eddie Hearn already said he don't want you. Oscar De La Hoya, we already know he don't promote back fighters. That's why all of those fighters that was with Oscar De La Hoya, they're now on PBC because he don't promote black fighters. So how you going to get a fight if you don't have a promotion company, you don't have a network to work on, and the only one that has all the fighters, you basically saying you don't want to do business with them. It doesn't make sense. So that's why I said I really don't know who he's going to fight, because either he's going to have to swallow his pride and work with Al Heyman, or he's going to have to try to do something with DeJean or Oscar De La Hoya. I mean Eddie Hearn or Oscar De La Hoya, because it's not, he don't have nowhere else to go. It's nowhere else to go. You suing one promotional company that you used to work for. Eddie Hearn don't want you. He said you're not a draw. I don't want you. You don't want to do business with Al Heyman. Where else you gonna go? You gonna go to Oscar De La Hoya, who don't promote black fighters? We already know that. That's why all of them left. Where are you gonna go? So, I mean, he's in a no-win situation right now. It's either swallow your pride and go work with that man that has all the fighters, or finish this lawsuit with Bob Arum. See if you can patch up those bridges, which I doubt you will. See if you patch up and go back and work with Top Rank, or retire. He don't have many options. He really don't. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I got on this on the subject. I mean, if y'all got anything y'all want to add to it?
Yeah, at this point, man, honestly, he boxed himself and backed himself into a serious corner. I don't know who ideal it was for him to come out and make this move against Bob Arum, which in my opinion overall really don't make no sense, because got into bed with this guy twice. You're not going to take a young lady out to dinner twice when she showed you the first time around. She don't have any table manners. She don't even have any manners or anything like that. But then you take her out to an extravagant restaurant again. You know, if she's McDonald's material, then you got to leave that alone. If you supposed to be a filet mignon type of person, but you settling for McDonald's service, you can't say, "Oh man, it's the meat here at McDonald's ain't that good." Well, you opt to take that when you could have had a better line of meat on the table. So that's what it is with this guy, and he's a hell of a boxer, a good talent, but this guy's really not keen on being accountable for his actions and some of the decisions that he make. And being a grown man, I ain't gonna give him the green light on that. He has to be accountable. He's constantly pointing fingers and not even pointing the problem, the other part of the problem, which is himself and his manager / trainer, who he should get rid of, as far as him being a manager. So this whole thing with this guy, he might at this point might just be trying to see if he can grab a couple dollars, man, and go and retire. He won't sign with Al. Eddie said, man, you ain't marketable enough. It ain't too much left out here for this brother to do. And we can see he don't have the oomph to be his own promoter. You got a young kid out here, a whole decade and some years younger than this guy, and he's out there being independent. So you make all this hoorah about, well, I'm not satisfied with what's going on. But then when you become a free agent, you don't even become your own boss. So with this is just exposing a whole lot about this guy. Great talent, but he don't have the brightest bulb. He don't have the brightest light bulb. And I think his kind of like his integrity towards the wrong energy has gotten in the way and playing a part of his career, man. And then casual fans or people just needed something to fuss about in the sport of boxing, because we all know it's a racist sport. It's no secret. They're trying to come out and act like we're digging up gems on a guy that we don't know about. The whole entire sport of boxing been racist, kind of been built off of that. Y'all need to go really do your history, see what this shit is about. But at the same day, you can't say he wasn't good. He was good enough for you to go back more than once. And when it's on record, him publicly saying different things, it's not going to happen. I don't want it. I don't need it. He need me. I'm past it. He had said too many things, people. Let it go, to hurt his case. And so has his fat ass goddamn trainer / manager. So at this point, I really don't care what going with the dude. Make a decision, man, to either do something or get out the way, man. Because I've been watching the sport way before this dude. And I'm going to continue to watch it. And I ain't going to keep talking about this dude when he's not giving me nothing to talk about but this whole soap opera fiasco, because that's what it is now. It's supposed to be a gladiator sport, and these guys is up there fussing all, it's because of racial bias and because of this and that, and this guy went to me this. Come on, man, nobody got no time for that.
Hey, real quick. Shout out to Tay-Tay, shout out to Ashley. Make sure y'all subscribe to Tay-Tay. Make sure y'all subscribe to Ashley, Tay-Tay, and Ashley. Y'all can drop y'all links in the chat if y'all want. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Salute to the queen. Chris, would you finish with your statement, bro? Go
ahead, bro. Go. You good.
Yeah. With me, it's more so of like, I'm big on accountability, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all my bros. And if I know y'all move a certain way and I see y'all not. Yeah. 13.5 points. Okay. I'm not gonna sit here and not hold y'all accountable, lace y'all boots up if we call each other bros and think that you move in a certain way and you don't use a move like that. I'm not gonna sit here and not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? At some point, somebody got to be real enough and have the balls enough and quit just taking money out of Bud pocket to let him know, like, hey, look, we might have to move this shit a different type of way. You know what I'm saying? And that is something that I don't see from none of his team members, man. I mean, like, you're a hell of a fighter, but you got people around you that's yes men. And this is no disrespect to him, but fucking, you got to be the one to take the bullet for it, though. Because at the end of the day, the only thing they're going to say, well, Bud didn't do this, or Bud didn't do that, or Bud didn't do this. Well, you got a team around you that's supposed to help make the best decisions for you. You know what I'm saying? You want to be focused on fighting, you hire people to do a motherfucking job. If they not getting the job done, you gotta make some changes in your team. Yep. Don't no NFL team see that they quarterback is bullshit and just gonna keep him there without getting a replacement or finding a future young rookie to replace that man. You know what I'm saying? That's like Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to fight. You have to always be looking. You know what I'm saying? Me, you know what I'm saying? Being in business wise, bro. Just because I hire somebody, bro, I'm still gonna know what the fuck going on in my business. That's just business 101. You always supposed to know what's going on and what contractual agreements they got your name attached to it. Because at the end of the day, if the shit hit the fan, hell, and they fucked you over in the contract, you fucked.
Right, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So you always gotta be more than a fighter, bro. I'm not saying he didn't, but based off how the trajectory and what's been put out, clearly, you know what I'm saying, your team, your business aspect, your business acumen has not been on point. You know, and hey, you hire people to do a job, they didn't do it. Hey, you gotta have the balls enough, whether they cool, you love them, or whatever the case is, to replace them. You know what I'm saying? Because you trying to move forward and grow in your career. That shit ain't gonna work.
All right. Shout out to
We gotta get it now.
shout out to Air Will. What's going on with you, man?
Yeah, boy. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thing, man. Like, you know, I'm not even thinking about, you know, what the next move gonna be at the current moment for Bud. I want the best for him. He a black man. You know, I want to see all my black people win. You know what I'm saying? Because every other race want to see their people win, and they can shout it out and call it and scream it to the rooftops, and it's all right. But soon as us as black people start getting and rally behind black people, it's all of a sudden a fucking problem. Like, nah, I want to see my black men win. I want to see him win. This case that he got going on, I'm proud that you're doing it. It's not going to benefit you, but it's going to benefit other fighters that's behind you. Usually when a person is the person who jumps out here and take the bullet instead of presidents, they are not the winner. It's the people behind him. Y'all better look at history and how shit goes. You don't reap the benefits of this shit. It's for the people that's gonna come behind you and keep the shit pushing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm looking at, man. I want the best for him, but at the same time, it's a lot of shit that you said that Bob will be able to use against you in court. You know what I'm saying? And that, like me and Dwayne to discuss, you know what I'm saying, on my live, Keon live and everything. The breach of contract and the fight and the extra bread, yeah, I believe you're gonna win that. But it's just too much extra shit that, you know, you done said and defended Bob that's not gonna give you that damn racial bias, you know what I'm saying, part of the deal. You know what I'm saying? I hope he win it all, but I'm just gonna be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Everything don't look promising in his favor on every aspect of that deal. You know what I'm saying? So, like we said, we want the best for Bud, man. I want him to get the best deal possible. He had a good deal with Top Rank because the man got paid. He solidified, you know what I'm saying, some shit for himself and his family. And I ain't mad at that not one bit. Get your paper, black man.
Yeah.
But don't shit on another person to uplift yourself. You know what I'm saying? When y'all both need this fight and boxing need this goddamn fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got on.
Shout out to Trap Media USA. What's going on with you, man? Appreciate you coming through.
What's good, Trap?
Yeah,
to the queen.
That's what I said. Like Jimbo said in the chat a little bit earlier. He said that Bud is doing exactly that. He's suing Top Rank. You sound hypocritical.
He call us hypocrites.
Yeah, I mean, how we sound like hypocrites. We never asked for Bud to sue Top Rank. Bud sued Top Rank on his own. We asked Bud to not sign with him again. He chose to sign with him again. So that's not us being hypocritical. That's on him. That's what he did that. We told him not to sign with a Top Rank again. Top Rank had already did what they were supposed to do. They took you to the mountaintop. You became undisputed. From that point on, you had already been asking for the Manny Pacquiao fight for 3 years. He hasn't promised you the Manny Pacquiao fight. What made you think it was different now?
Apparently, this man don't know what a hypocrite means, because if it's anybody's a hypocrite, it's Bud. So you should go look up the definition, because all his action shows he's a hypocrite, Jimbo. Thank you.
I got one even
Bud
better.
for that.
If he hadn't signed to Top Rank, he wouldn't even be going to court.
Exactly.
Hello. See, y'all don't see, y'all want to look at the surface level and say the shit that only favor Bud Crawford in a good way, but y'all don't want to point out the shit that he personally did to himself. Self-inflicted wounds. That's what we call those. Like y'all gotta quit doing all that extra shit, bro. That's why I wasn't even gonna address you, because I already see what type of person you are, Jimbo. No disrespect, but shit, you riding on Bud coattail too hard and not giving enough accountability. If you hadn't re-signed again, you wouldn't be in court for getting lied to and getting played. Let's just keep it all the way a fucking buck. He got played and lied to. Bob duped him and promised him this EJ fight. He went with it. You got to remember, Bomac is his manager. Who the hell you think went to talk to the other promotional outfits when he was trying to resign? Bomac.
You gotta look at the situation for what it is. The man made a bad business move. That's all it is. He made a bad business move. You can't put that on PBC. You can't put that on EJ. You can't put that on the fans. You made that bad business move, so you got to deal with it. The only person to blame for that is Bud and his camp because he didn't have nobody in his camp to tell him, hey, nah, we need to go ahead and do our own thing. He did as much as he's going to do for us. We've been asking for this Manny Pacquiao fight. He hasn't got us a fight. Bud problem that he has right now, he has too many yes men in his camp. He don't have nobody that's willing to stand up to him and say, hey, nah, you can't be moving like that. He don't have nobody to do that. Everybody in his camp is a yes man. So when you got all these yes men, what's going to happen is you're going to end up in the situation that you're in right now. You back yourself into a corner because everybody told you that was the right move that you should have made. Now you back yourself into the corner, you got nowhere to go. That's your fault. That's not nobody else's fault.
Right. Then you got Bernie out here just disrespecting and saying all type of shit. Yeah, people, man, I had people arguing with me yesterday that ain't that Bud done said so it don't matter. Bruh, he represents the Bud Crawford team. Like, bro, I don't know who told some of y'all business, but god damn, y'all don't know shit. Bro, that's like your lawyer out here or your spokesperson. If I'm D Free and Chris spokesperson, and we talked about some shit behind the scene, right? And I go out and start saying some all off the wall shit and disrespecting people that I need to possibly gonna have to do business with, bro. Don't you think they gonna pull my coattail immediately? Yes. Yep. I know both of these dudes well enough. Trust me, they gonna hit me up and pull me to the side like, hey, you bullshitting, bro.
Yeah.
But nobody is doing that for Bud. You know what I'm saying? Bud not doing that. You let Bernie and Bomac say whatever the fuck they want.
You know who the only person that said that to Bud? Shakur Stevens. Shakur Stevens said it. Shakur Stevens has said, hey, no, Bud, that's you. Leave me out of that. I'm telling my own business. I don't need you to speak for me. You got to be able to put blame on where the blame belongs. You can't blame everybody else for you making a mistake. And like I said, we all wish that Bud wins this court case. We all pulling for him to win the court case. But it is what it is. Like we said, we like Bud in the ring. The issue that we have is Bud outside the ring. He moves funny. So all that placing blame on somebody else and trying to get people to take up for your faults, that's the same thing you teach your child. No, don't blame on somebody. You did it. Take responsibility for what you did. You did it. You do that. You teach your child that from when they're a child up until they're adult. Take responsibility for your own actions. So now you want to sit here and say, "Oh, nah, EJ ducking him." The man told you flat out. Bob did not make the fight. He's suing because Bob did not make the fight. So how can you put it on EJ? That is the whole reason for the lawsuit. Is for Bob not making a fight with EJ. But y'all want to say EJ's ducking. They crazy, man. Like I said, they don't want to see what it is for what it is. All they see is their fighter is doing what he's supposed to do. No, he's not. That's why he's in the situation he's in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it it's just every time Bernie and anybody from his team say something and it's off the wall, it makes Bud look worse. It makes them look even worse. You say, people getting mad because we said shit, Bud Team Crawford is jealous. Shit, why y'all? Okay, if I want to fight somebody, I'm not gonna keep talking about they women, they jewelry, they rich, we rich too, and all this shit. What does that have to do with making the fight in the fucking ring? Nothing. If I gotta point out what a man got in his materialistic things, that is a jealousy trait.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if he got 35 Cuban link chains and all that shit. He can't wear it in the ring. It ain't part of the contract. He making money. He wanna shine. So he went and bought jewelry. It is what it is. Like
It's the same.
y'all want to make up all these fucking excuses. Oh well, if Earl didn't do this or Earl didn't do that, or if he would have just sent that contract or tried to fight Bud, bruh, y'all don't even listen to what the fuck Bud said out of his own mouth. Bob couldn't get Bake to fight. He couldn't get the Earl fight while I was with him. He can't get it while I'm not with him. Basically saying Bob didn't do his job. It's not Errol Spence's fault. When Bob was supposedly supposed to talk to Al Heyman, what the fuck happened to that shit?
They talked to Al Heyman, and Bob said the fight need to build more.
Build more. Exactly.
So you can't say, if your promoter is telling you the fight needs to build more, that means he went and talked to them and he said, hold up, it's not enough money in here for me. This fight need to build more. So it's not Earl ducking. It's your promoter not wanting to make the fight. They put the offer up there, and your promoter said the fight is not big enough yet. Man, these people don't never want to see it. They only want to see things they go in their favor. If it's not in their favor, they don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to see nothing. Just like the dude that we had on Knockout yesterday. He heard one part of what Knockout was saying and missed the whole point of the question. We're like, that is not the point of the daggone question. He's saying, do Bomac need to be fired because Bomac said the same thing that EJ was doing. Bomac, he said EJ was taking an easier route. And then Bomac come out later and said Bud took the Jeff Horn fight because it was an easier route. But y'all took EJ as EJ's ducking, but Bud, he wasn't ducking. He was just taking because it was easier to make. That's the same thing we said about EJ. And that guy, he didn't see that at all. He saw something totally different. I was like, okay.
Man, he trying to go back and forth with me. Trying to go back and forth with me. And I'm like, bro, if you got somebody on your team saying something, well, it wasn't him saying it, so it don't mean nothing. Nigga, what? Bro, say, oh, man, dog, that's what you see. I left the panel.
Right.
I left. It's like talking to a brick wall to people. That's why I tell them, if y'all really want some smoke and want to debate me, come over to my page. I promise I'm gonna tear you up. I'm gonna tear you up.
That's the guy that I was talking about. That's the guy that I was talking about. He told me I need to leave. I need to stop listening to LBC. That's him. That's the dude that was on the other panel that I was on. I was like, that's the same dude. That's him right there.
I already know. I know exactly who he is.
You see, he didn't address me when we was on there. He didn't address me at all. What's going on, Ricky? What's going on with you, man?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good?
Yeah, man. RW Dub, what's good? How you feeling, brother?
Hey, bro, you know what it is. Everything. Crush, what's good?
Crush, you got your phone on mute.
Oh, man. But, hey, man, I just came to chime in. You know, we on the Grizzly. But, man, like, why is Errol Spence even in these discussions at this point? That's what I want to know. Like, it's just crazy to me how, right, the point's been made. So, one, this is, it bothers me. I'm sorry, guys, it bothers me, right? One, right, people is telling the story, right, the way it should be told. No, again, no disrespect to nobody, right? They telling the story the way it's supposed to be told, right? They understand that Bud made some decisions with a particular promoter that we all know operate a certain way. So what's the question, right? What's even the discussion about what you hoping Bud win or not? No, bro. What is y'all talking about? How y'all? And this is the problem. This is the problem when situations like come up like this, bro. How can I don't care what you feel about the situation. How can you believe somebody who has no integrity in the game that's being played right now? And no matter what y'all say, no matter what y'all say and what y'all believe, oh, I hope Bud win. This is a win for black boxers already. Bro, how can y'all support this when y'all know he was eating at the table laughing at y'all?
Yeah.
No matter what y'all think of the bigger picture, bro, right? How do y'all expect a person with no integrity to carry this fight for y'all? That's the question I want answered.
That's why I
Hey,
keep trying
salute to you, Ricky.
That's what I told these people in my live stream the other day. I said I believe Bud put that racial bias in that lawsuit just to get the backing of the fans. It had nothing else to do with the contract. It just to get the backing of the fans because he want the fans to support him, and that's what I stand on that. That's what I believe.
Me too. Me too. What?
Hey, we
Go
all
ahead, bro.
believe that.
Yeah.
Oh, you good? What's funny? I got a real quick point, Ricky. It's on you. It's like you want us to back you, but we couldn't even get you to talk to us. You make that shit make sense. Go ahead, Rick.
Right. Like, no matter what y'all say, when before this came out, ladies and gentlemen, before this hit this it's hot. It's a hot story. We all know it's hot. We like talking about it. Let's be honest, we like talking about it, right? But when it was in the actual factuals of this man's career, when he was fighting, when we was bringing this up as an obvious point of contention, y'all was riding with the bullshit. Of course, Ashley. Right? Y'all was riding with the bullshit. When we was telling y'all Bob operate this way, it's tradition. Y'all was telling us Bob was doing his job. Which story is it, please?
Exactly.
I don't care what the cause is. A man gotta have integrity.
Yeah.
Where is the integrity in this situation? Where the fuck is it? Oh, I done ate with this man for I don't know how many years. They're told the very people now that's saying support me when they was actually trying to give me true and right information.
Mm-hmm.
Told y'all, fuck y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't know Bob like I know Bob. He got the checks. He ate the steaks. Y'all see, he walking around in Gucci. His family fed. And then, after you done sitting with the snake, now you want to come out and say he was a snake. If that's what y'all like, okay. If that's what y'all like, okay.
The real one's gonna call that shit out. And it ain't
Ricky.
about hating. It ain't about degrading a man or shitting on him. Or come on, y'all want to shit on a black man, and we just had MLK Day. Nigga, he shitted on us first. What you talking about?
All this shit, G5. All I'm saying is this, guy, right? Bob ain't do this. Bob, he got a right to sue Bob. Da, da, da. You also have a right to contract with whoever you want to, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the right to go find an alternative promotional company.
Mm-hmm.
Did he do that?
Nope.
I'm going to tell y'all before, like I said, y'all respect the ones that got shot. I respect the shooter. What argument would you have if Bud would have just did the right thing? Not by just him, but the PBC, the other black promotional company, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what y'all say. I done told y'all before, all promotional companies do shady business. All of them. But it's all right when a white man fuck you, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Shout out to Ashley Corner. She said, "Ricky, you going on live tonight?"
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the thing. You suing Bob for racial bias, but then you turn around and you shit on Al Heyman, who's a black man. You don't want to do business with him. He's a black man. You don't want to do business with him, but you suing Bob because it's racial bias. How you gonna put that in your lawsuit, but you don't want to do business with the black man, who's the only black promoter in the industry that has a network to back you? No other black promoter in the industry has a network to back you, unless you want to count Trill Bill, but that's Trill Bill. That you working with DeJohn and Eddie Hearn or whatever. Eddie Hearn said he don't want you. So, I mean, shit just seemed real funny to me.
I just wish somebody.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm gonna stand on what I say. I believe he put that racial bias portion of the lawsuit in there just to get the backings of the fans. That's my belief, and I'm gonna stand on it until he proved otherwise, because he don't want to do business with the black man. He don't want to come on these YouTube channels and do interviews with the black folks that's supporting him. He don't want to do that. He want to take his interviews overseas and deal with the people in the UK. He want to do interviews with people with Top Rank and ESPN, but he don't want to deal with the people that's really supporting him. So I mean,
Hey man,
all that stuff is crazy. But that's my time today. I done went longer than I ever went before. But it was a good conversation. Like I said, I have no problem talking boxing when I'm talking boxing and people speaking facts. I just don't like people putting on that narrative that it is this way, is that way, when we know it's not that way. So G5, Crush Out, you want to give your last words and let the people know where they can find you? Crush, you still there? Crush might be handling something. G5, you want to give your last words and let the people know where they can find you?
Already, man. Hey, appreciate you as always, my brother. You know what I'm saying? We gonna build and cook and grow these channels together, man. You know what I'm saying? We all on the same boat, sailing the same way at the same cruise, man. So, y'all, make sure y'all tell a friend about my boy D Freeman. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna continue to grow. Y'all can find me G5_Gabe, Instagram, YouTube. By now people starting to realize where they know where the hell to find me, but I'm always courteous, so I'm gonna let you know. G5_Gabe, YouTube, Instagram, same tag. I'm the only one. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't hard to find me. We cooking though. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ain't been tapping into the lives, hey, we've been over here cooking some with some hot grease. You know what I'm saying? So hey, y'all catch on before we get too big. Then we're gonna start looking at some of y'all like, damn shit. We told y'all to catch on a long fucking time ago. Y'all thought y'all didn't believe Fat Meat was greasy. But now y'all gonna find out the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Keep on doing what you're doing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. We rocking. And we're gonna keep building. Y'all sub to my boy Ricky Williams. And last but not least, sub to the Q&A. Sports and Love podcast. You know what I'm saying? They building over there.
Make sure they do that.
We gotta put the queens on our back. You know what I'm saying? And shit, just you better get stronger, my nigga, because we got more people on that boat with us too. You know, so
Yep.
y'all make sure y'all do that. Sub to Tay Tay. You know what I'm saying? She ain't dropped her content yet, but hey, y'all never know when a person gonna drop. So you know, it's good to be
When she
already
drop, she gonna
tapped
drop.
in with them. You know, so
Yep.
appreciate you always, Chris. Salute to you as always, my bro. You've been rocking with me for a minute, even before I was creating
Yes.
content. So
Yes,
shout
sir,
out to
bro.
everybody
Appreciate
in the chat and keep supporting the sub and to my boy D Freeman. You already know what it is.
All right, Mark. Crush Lad, you want to give your last words and let the
it.
people
Yes,
know where they can
sir.
find you?
Listen, y'all. So yeah, man. Just punch my name in, Crush the Legend, man. Y'all can find me. I'm gonna start throwing more content down, but y'all know y'all can catch me over here where all the guys is at. I'm always gonna support D. I hop up on his shit every once in a while whenever he welcome me. Y'all know I'm in the same place as y'all at. That's all I got to say. Make sure if you ain't subscribed to my man D Freeman yet, do it. G5 Gate, Q&A. They're awesome, dog. They're awesome, and they putting out great work, and I can't wait to see it continue to grow. But listen, man, it's your boy Crest the Legend, Mr. Unbiased of Boxing, man. That's all I got to say, and I appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate it, man. You know, it's always a pleasure. Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming through. Picasso, I salute to you, man. I appreciate you coming through. Like they said, support all of our people, man. You got Crush the Legend, you got G5 Gabe, you got Q&A Ashley and Queek. You got Tay Brown. You got I Am Trill Will. Support all of our people, man. They all putting out great content. And we keeping it straight facts. Facts over feelings when we dealing with this boxing. I mean, if somebody not moving right, we're gonna call them out on that. That's the only way you can keep it an honest game. And you got to call them out. That's the only way you can be unbiased. Even if it's your favorite fighter, you call them out on it, and it is what it is. I mean, it has nothing to do. It's nothing against them. We love the sport of boxing over the fans. I mean, over the boxer. We love the sport over the boxers. We support the boxers, but we love the sport over the boxers. But yeah, I mean, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to this channel. I'll be back tomorrow, 2:30. It's your boy, Boxing Matchups. Thank y'all for coming through. Peace.